Hello everyone and welcome back again to Flight Simulator. Now last time we took a look at the A2A simulation Cessna 172R. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Caranado Cessna 172N. Now, when we left off before, we're basically at the exact same spot we were at Maury. There's the 172 I thought had the door open. It's now snowing, and it's been maybe about 5 minutes. Basically, I pulled up a couple new documents and I switched the airplane, and in the time it took me to do that, the weather updated. Remember, I was talking about weather updating, and now it's snow rain. I had a friend at my old flight school who called it snow rain. She was cool. Anyway, so it's doing that now. Will we get back into Madison? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. So we might end up landing either in Wanakee or back at Maury. Also, my concern here is the 172 does not have any anti-ice protection, whether that be pneumatic boots or heating. So, you know, there's that. Carbed airplane, so we'll just go mixture full rich on the startup. I guess we'll just get going here. I'm going to go ahead and check our ATIS, though. 1230, 1093, 1086. 1230 is Maury, 1093 is Madison. I guess we'll change this one. 465.
Madison Airport information, Papa. 2042 Zulu. Wind 180 at 9er.
Still 180.
9er. Snow.
Yeah, snow.
Conditions, few clouds at 4,600. Ceiling 6,000. Broken.
Ceiling's only 6,000.
Temperature 1. Dew point -3. Altimeter 3001. ILS. Runway 18 continues.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and they're doing ILS. I don't know. We'll see if we can slide in before they close up here. So we better get going. RDQ. Immediate things I noticed that are different from this airplane compared to the A2A Sim 1 is we have the older 172 panel here. Not really my cup of tea, but some people like it. So that's all I have to say about that. That's all I have to say about that. Real quick pre-flight before we take off here. Bringing down the flaps, making sure that that little notch goes in conjunction. And we'll walk around. Got a nav on that light. No strobes on this airplane, so nav on that side. Landing and taxi lights are good. Nav on that side. Beacon is blinking away, and the nav light on the rear is good. Flaps are full extent. Normally you'd walk around and check the fuel drain ports, all that kind of stuff. Ailerons, all of that. But we are just going to start up here. So I'm going to remove any non-essential loads. And we'll go ahead for startup. You know, the window clear prop. Alright, we're good. Alternator can come on. Avionics back on. Pilot heel come back on. Taxi lights. And in landing lights. We'll leave carb heat off until we get in the air. Didn't even need to prime it. That's pretty good. Don't want to take off with carb heat on. Alright, we'll shut that back. We're just going to get underway here real quick. So we will grab 10 and taxi there. What's our tail number? 399 Charlie Kilo. Okay. More traffic Cessna 399 Charlie Kilo is taxiing to runway 10. Bring those flaps back in. Yeah, it's pretty chilly out, actually. The temperature has significantly dropped. I like how there's a little halo of no rain around us. Or snow. That's neat. Yeah, it's really chilly out. I was going to go fly my T600. Some of you guys might remember those we just used to do. Haven't given up on them. Just don't have the space to fly where I Live when I'm at school. Okay, I did not want to do that. No, I wanted the fuel selector to go to both. So if you could, okay, this is, nope, both. Okay, can I not do both? Does that not have a both option? Every 172 I've ever flown does. Yeah, both. I want both. There. All right, we'll restart. No need to prime. Didn't even need to prime it the first time, actually. There we go. Okay. I need to get a scoot on here, so I'm going to throw in a little more throttle. It's not to draw direct comparisons between the two aircraft, but this aircraft does feel a lot more, that's close, feels a little bit more like a default flight sim aircraft, just in terms of, you know, getting it moving and all of that. With the A2A Sim 172, I was able to start up and basically move the airplane off of startup power. And, you know, if you advance the throttle to 1,000 RPM, just like in a real airplane, you were creeping forward the whole way. So, whereas right now I'm sitting at about, geez, like 1450, maybe? Like 1400. To keep the airplane moving at a slower speed, actually, to what it was before. But, you know, each their own. Some of you might like the soundscape of this airplane a little bit better. I am kind of indifferent. I think if I were to say there's one I prefer, probably the A2A 172. But, you know, again, that's completely subjective. Opinions are opinions, and they will only ever be that. I think also another reason I'm kind of impartial to the A2A 172 is that's the type of airplane I trained in. I trained in a 172S with a G1000 glass cockpit, but we also did have our models. So, you know, sometimes I would go up with friends of mine who couldn't afford the S. Uh-oh. Braking action's bad. Braking action is terrible. All right, we just scooted off of the taxiway there. Neat. We might have to call this one. It's snowing pretty bad. Oh, what the heck. We're going to be going to the east. No flyover, Wanakee. More traffic, Cessna 39 Charlie Kilos taking off runway 10 east departure. Alright, full power is established. Speeds. I'll go ahead and pull back now. Yeah, getting blown around pretty good. I will say I like the trimmability of this airplane compared to the Caranado one. Much better in this airplane. Right, we're going to switch to 903 immediately to see what their directive is. Keeping an eye on our suction gauge. Yeah, they're doing IFR departure. I don't think they're going to let us in. I think we're getting iced in a little bit. Madison Tower Cessna 309 Charlie Kilos, 8 miles west with Romeo to land. That's a lie. We don't have Romeo. They're probably going to be IFR. Oh my god, they let us in. Alright, that'll be a right downwind for runway 18 Cessna 9 Charlie Kilo. Okay, so they are going to let us in. We're going to shoot straight for Madison. So we want this on a right downwind. So we're going to point towards the airfield until we can see it. And then we're going to bank out hard to the left. I'm going to use my VOR down there, because we do have the VOR dialed in. Although it doesn't seem to fully adjusting. 1086 for the, I think I can just make out the VASI lights out there. We're gonna come up to 3.5. Once we're at 3.5, I'm going to throw in carb heat. Because there's a very good chance for icing. Try and keep an eye on our performance delta here as well. Make sure that we're not picking up too much ice on the leading edges. We've got nothing to fight it, so... Keep climbing, darling. You can do it. Ceilings are only at 6. We could very easily break through the clouds here, but I don't think we're going to do that. Going up to 3,000. We're getting buffeted pretty good. Yeah, there's the Vassy just out there. Right downwind for a 1-8. We're just going to shoot a base slag. I don't want to mess around out here for any longer than we have to. Great, we got our clearance. And we'll be clear to land 1-8 Cessna 9er Charlie Kilo. So I'm actually going to start deconfiguring down. Roll some power out. Come back down to 2.5 since we have our landing clearance. I have the airport in sight. It's going to be 860 MSL. All right.
H435, turn next taxiway. H435, contact ground on 121.9er.
We'll dial that in. And prep also. Only 2 radios on this bad boy. So. And that's probably us on base he's talking about. So unfortunately for that Baron, he's probably going to end up going around because we're moving way slower than he is. I mean, we're outside of our white arc. I'm scooting as fast as I safely can in these conditions. But he might just have to go around. He's got the anti-ice to do it on the Baron 58, so... We're going to shoot a short base to short final. Well, a long base to short final. As best as I can. Alright, we're going to start slowing down here. We're really holding up the program here. Full idle. I don't think the 172Ms have a VFE-10, so we're just going to wait on that white arc there. To bring our airspeed down, slowly bleeding off, descending at about 1,000 feet per minute. Coming inside of the white arc in about 10 seconds here. Keep that nose pointed up. Full idle power is established. Throw on 1 notch. That brings the nose up and brings airspeed down. Now inside of the white arc, going to add in more flaps and increase our rate of descent. Full idle power. I don't really want to go around if I don't have to, so I'll try and bleed off as much speed as I can. Oh boy, we made a little bit of a line. We got a CRJ, and that looks like a 7.3 waiting to go. So we're going to touch down there, and we're going to run off of Kilo there to just get out of the runway as quickly as we can.
Beach 621, go around.
Go around, yep. Sorry, Beach.
Going around. Beach 621. Beach 621. Contact Madison approach on 135.45. Cessna Niner Charlie Kilo. Turn next taxiway.
Copy that.
Beach Niner 5. Go around.
It's another... Oh, man, we sent 2 of them around.
Going around.
I'm sorry, boys.
Beach Niner 5. Contact Madison approach on 135.45.
We'll grab Kilo right here.
135.45. Beach 621. 135.45. Beach Niner 5. Cessna Niner Charlie Kilo. Contact ground on 121.9. Orbit 2305.
Got stepped on.
Runway 18.
Alright, we'll go to ground point 9er for Cessna 9er Charlie Kilo. And... Oh, it's the wrong rudder pedal, isn't it? Madison ground Cessna 399 Charlie Kilo, taxi to parking.
Cessna November 399 Charlie Kilo. Taxi to
Kilo
General
Alpha
Aviation
3.
Parking using taxiway Kilo Alpha 3 Alpha 4 Charlie Juliet.
Copy, so that'll be Kilo Alpha 3 Alpha 4 Charlie then Juliet, Cessna 399 Charlie Kilo. That makes no sense. Why can't we just take the active here? Because he wants us to go Kilo to Alpha. He wants us to turn around. I don't want to turn around. So we're currently on 1432. Crossing 213. Because we could just take... This is so dumb. Sometimes these controllers make no sense. I'm going to deviate. Don't ever do this in real world flying, obviously. Because it's just dumb. Charlie, like, it's just dumb. It's dumb. I'm going to scoot off here. Maybe not. I just realized where that went. It's the middle of nowhere. That actually takes you to the end of the runway we're on right now. So I'm going to scoot down to this next taxiway, which I think is actually Charlie. I have no idea why they wanted us to turn around and go back to Alpha 4. It just makes no sense to me. So we're not going to be doing that. Yeah, here's Charlie right here. So if you guys have an AFD handy, you can see what he was trying to have us do. There's our taxiway instructions. It was Kilo to Alpha 3, then to Alpha 4, then Charlie, then Juliet, which makes 0 sense. 0 sense. So we deviated a little bit. We took Kilo to 1432, then 1432 down to Charlie, and now we're on to the east ramp, so... I think we'll slot between this Baron and the Aztec over here on the right. It's not an Aztec, don't mind me. We have an... I'm used to saying Aztec as we have one in the maintenance hangar where I go to school. We actually have a Baron and an Aztec, so... Baron and Aztec just roll off of the tongue a little too easily for me in some cases. It's not an Aztec, it's an Archer. Oh, we'll come in and park up real nice and easy. Alright, let's go ahead and reduce some of this battery load here before we shut down. So we don't need our taxi lights anymore. We need the beacon on. We need navs on. Pitot heat can come off. Avionics off. And should be it. We'll go ahead and kill the engine. and shut those both off. And that'll do it for the Caranado Cessna 172N model. What do you guys think? Do you think it's better than the A2A, worse than the A2A? I personally am on the fence because in terms of overall feel and flight, I do like this aircraft better, but in terms of the functionality and the looks and the immersion factor, I very, very much so appreciate the A2A Sim 172 better. So let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. As always, take it easy, guys.